Well, we got some news, people. In the midst of tariffs and people who voted for Trump losing their businesses, their farms, their car dealerships, their money. Only 3% of Trump supporters regret voting for Trump. That's according to a CNN analysis. Let's go to it.
I mean, this is the big question, right? I hear all these stories, all these articles. All the Trump voters, they regret what they did back in 2024. I'm here to tell you, very few of them regret what they did back in 2024. What are we talking about? Trump voters looking back at 2024. We got a new poll out. The poll was conducted this month. What percentage would change their vote to a different candidate? We're talking just 2%, just 2%. That's not even a wide spot on the road. And then there's this additional 1% who say they would rather not vote. We're talking overall under 5% might or would have changed their vote. Does this look similar or different from back in 2017, looking at 2016? Well, in February of 2017, 4% of Trump voters say they'd shift their vote. That's actually slightly more than the 3% this time around. So, you look back, you say, okay, there's these Trump voters who really regret their vote. Historically speaking, they really don't regret their vote.
Put it up full mass. All due respect to CNN, please stop talking about polling data as if it is a fact in social science. You poll less than 1% of voters. Your margin of error is typically between 3 to 5%, maybe more. And you're talking to Trump supporters. They're not going to say, yeah, we regret it. I know we're only a couple of months in. No. Give them a little more time. I really don't buy the numbers, but they really don't matter at this point. These are not predictions. Remember, polls are not predictions. It's just a snapshot of a select group. So CNN senior data reporter Harry Enten shot down the narrative that people who voted for President Donald Trump are beginning to regret their decision months into his presidency. He cited the YouGov poll released this month that showed that less than 5% of Trump voters would change their 2024 decision. According to the survey, 2% would change their vote to another candidate and another 1% would not vote. This is when you look at the crosstabs of the data. How did you weigh the polling data? What was your percentage? How did you weigh the demographic data, including age, race, gender, socioeconomic background, etc.? Did you over qualify African-American males because they did overperform in that arena slightly, but you have to now overrepresent that in the polling data, et cetera. Okay. If folks, quote, if folks got to be able to redo their vote that they had back in 2024, would the result be any different? I doubt it would be. I doubt if it would be, or it would still be extremely close. The bottom line is, all this talk of Trump voters regretting their voters or their vote in the numbers, it really just doesn't show up. And to say it, noting the results for voters who supported then Vice President Kamala Harris were similar. Sir, you're starting to sound like a Kool-Aid drinker. I'm just talking to you, man, buddy to buddy. Quote, the bottom line is, if there's some idea out there that Trump voters are going around saying, man, I wish I had voted for Kamala Harris instead of Donald Trump. And to say it, the numbers say that is a fanciful universe. It really, for the most part, does not exist. Yeah, he don't drink the Kool-Aid. Sir, one poll, You have made all of these factual conclusions a couple of months in. The fact that you're on national news citing a poll of regret voters 2 months into a presidential administration is the only fact that everyone needs to remember. Have you ever done it before? All right, Jackson, thoughts?
Well, it's not even just that, but a lot of the polls that have been taken on like Trump voters or Republicans' feelings on the economy or how he's handling this or how he's handling that will show all different types of things to consider. So you're right. This is just one poll, but at the same time, Donald Trump does, in terms of that cult that he does have a solid portion that will never leave his side, no matter what, and who are going to worship him forevermore. But yeah, overall, Donald Trump is not popular. There's a lot of people who voted for him who, in fact, are not cult members. And especially as these next several years tick on by, he's just going to become more and more unpopular because he's just incapable of dealing with anything. And more importantly than his incompetence, he doesn't care. He just doesn't care. So it's going to get worse for him.
Yeah, he's an actual real life villain.